Hello and welcome to HOPE. We are the future of digital patient management. For those who don't know us yet, let me briefly summarize what we do, what our purpose is, and therefore our impact in the future. My name is Alina Latos and I'm the founder and CEO of HOPE Applications. When I founded the company 3 years ago, it was a tool for self-organization, and a year later the HOPE app was launched for the first time in the App Store and Google Play Store. Women could independently transfer their treatment plans into the HOPE app and at least not have to walk around with their printed treatment plans. We received so much encouragement and feedback that we relaunched the HOPE app another year later, much better and much more sophisticated. At that point, I got a call from a doctor from Germany who encouraged me to get in touch with CRITEX. It is thanks to her that we are standing here today. This was followed by another year in which we had to reinvent ourselves, because you have to understand that as a company that was born out of an intrinsic intention, we are looking for solutions and do not simply want to put a product into the world which only fits a small group. We always wanted and will continue to create a win-win situation for you as physicians and at the same time for your patients. A few weeks ago, the HOPE app was awarded with the Fertility Care Award by the European Fertility Society. The award was presented to us by Jakub Dejewski with the following words: "It is my great pleasure to congratulate the HOPE app team for winning the award for the best fertility app. It was a truly amazing achievement that you have made and contributed to the fertility community, to patients and experts alike, is immeasurable. We are overjoyed to have been able to achieve this. And now I want to show you how we do this. Over the past year, we first had to find out challenges you as clinics face on a daily basis, how we can optimize your processes and link them to our product. Our clear goal is to save you time and money while reducing the mental load your patients experience during fertility treatments. We found out that within your clinics, a lot of work is required to organize every single treatment. Phone calls, letters, documents, contracts, and education provide over 1,860 hours of extra work for 1,000 treatments. That is the equivalent of 232.5 full working days. Just for reference, a year has approximately 253 full working days. So you are paying a full-time employee a full year to provide organizational support to just about 1,000 treatments. And some of you provide far more than 1,000 treatments per year. With the HOPE app, you send everything directly to your patients with just a few clicks. The treatment plan, including medication, all changes within the treatment cycle, all associated treatment results, appointments and changes to these, doctor's letters, documents and other written papers are transmitted to the patient securely in compliance with data protection regulations. Contracts and consent forms are transmitted to your patients via MedITEX. Patient and partner sign digitally using the HOPE app and return the signed contracts back to your MedITEX. Medical histories are filled out digitally via the HOPE app, and the entries end up directly in the right places in MedITEX via import. And we now want to demonstrate you all of this live. Let's start with the basic functions. You can now see MedITEX on the left with an open patient file and my phone on the right with the HOPE app running. I will now show you an example with a patient who is already using the HOPE app as a cycle tracker. The patient is at the end of her cycle and now she is sitting in your consultation room because she will be starting IVF with the upcoming cycle. To connect to your MedITEX, your patient needs to go to the Clinic tab. There she has a big button with Connect to Clinic. Now it is your turn. In the new tab Application, you go to the little green plus, go to HOPE and choose Patient. A QR code is generated in the background. You have the option to print this QR code and give it to your patient so she can connect at a later time, or to display it directly on your screen so your patient can connect immediately. That's what we are going to do now. Your patient clicks to connect, and I will show it slowly because it happens really fast, as you see. And now you see the Hope logo, because this is a demo clinic, but in your case, your clinic logo will be displayed here. Your patient needs to acknowledge that she wants to get push notifications, and she's ready to go. Once the QR code is scanned, everything can be closed on your side, and now your patient sees within the app that she's connected to your clinic. This is the clinic control center. In this lower section is the information you want to provide to your patients. Up here is the clinic's contact information, as well as the functions that will be used for the communication between you and your patient. By the way, this is what the partners see in their app. You can now create the treatment with your patient, for your patient in MedITEX as usual, and then set up the medication. I already prepared an IVF treatment that starts today, the 24th. And you see, this is the first day of her period. And I set up 2 medications. One is Pergoveris. I didn't set up a time for this one. And I also set up Orgalutran. And I set up a fixed time for this at 8 o'clock. And now I want to show you how to send all of this to your patient. You just need to go to the tab up here, open the drop-down, choose the Hope app, and the first thing that you need to send to your patient is the cycle. The cycle is the box which is going to be filled with all the other informations in here. But the cycle is the first thing that needs to be sent to the app. And afterwards, you send the medication. Your patient already gets a flag with new data available. She can tap on it, and she sees that her clinic started the treatment. And we already see on day 3, there's Pergoveris with no setup time. So I, as a patient, can set up a time by clicking on the blue icon, and I can set up the time as I choose. I say 20. And on day 8, there is also Orgalutran in there. On day 7 it isn't, and on day 8 it is, and day 9 as well. So this is how you send a treatment and medication plan to your patient. And now I can also add another drug like Brevactid, and I choose to send it to my patient on day 14, so the 6th of November. And I set up a time, because this is time sensitive, for 1 day, dosage 5,000. Okay. And now I need to send the medication again. And in a few moments, you will see it in the app of your patient. So we need to wait for the push notification. There it is. Now I can go to day 14 in my patient's cycle. And as you see, Brevactid at 11 p.m. And yeah, that's how you send treatments, treatment plans and medication to your patients. It happens within seconds. Now I want to show you how to send appointments to your patient. Therefore, you need to go to the MedITEX scheduler. And now we are going to decide on which days we are going to provide an appointment. For example, on the third day in your patient's cycle, you want her to come in for an ultrasound. So I am putting in an ultrasound. Yes. And on day 15 of your, or 16 of your patient's cycle, you want her to come in for the follicle aspiration. So on the 8th of November, you set up the appointment for the aspiration. On the 21st day of her cycle, you want her to come in for the transfer. That's the 13th. And on day 31, you want her to come in for the blood test, pregnancy test. So this is going to be the 23rd of November, and the pregnancy test, sorry. And yes, that's it. This is your work. Your work is done. You can go back to MedITEX. Your patient got the push notifications that she has new data available. I can tap on it. And as you see, on the third day, there's already the ultrasound and the big appointments like the egg retrieval and the transfer and also the pregnancy tests are pretty big in the cycle widget, so she can't miss them. And this is how it works with the appointments. Now we are doing something that is very unrealistic because I prepared treatment outcomes in the future. I already did this because of our time. You know how to set this up, but you don't know how to send it to your patient. So this is what I'm going to show you. We are going to send all treatment results, and I've already, like I said, prepared this. I can show you. Our follicle aspiration went well, and we had 8 egg cells. And on day 1 after the aspiration, 5 of them were fertilized. And on day 5, we had 3 beautiful blastocysts, and 2 of them are going to be transferred, and 1 of them is freezed. So this is what's going to happen at the transfer. And our pregnancy test was positive, of course, and our beta HCG was 450. So I'm going to show you now step by step the results, and this is really easy because the difficult part is to put all of this into your MedITEX, but the easy part is to send it to your patient, because you send it from here again, drop down, you choose the hope, and first we are going to send the aspiration results. There's the push notification. I update my app, and now I see I have a new section underneath my cycle widget. That's called that's the treatment results. So I can tap on that, and I can see we have 8 retrieved egg cells and 5 fertilized egg cells on day 1 after the aspiration. And this is the outcome here. So next I want to show you how to send the transfer. This is the same way. So you just send it, and a few moments later your patient receives a push notification, and the little blue flag is coming any minute. So we can update. There it is. I tap on it and there's my embryo transfer, and when I tap on that, I see that on day 5 of my follicle puncture I got 2 blastocysts. And last but not least, I'm going to send the pregnancy test. So you can send this as well. Your patient gets the push notification, the flag is coming in, and there's the pregnancy test. She can go in and see the result is positive, and the beta HCG was 450. So this is how you send treatment results. You can send the treatment results selectively. To some patients, you can send all results immediately. To others, you can choose to send them only some of them. To other patients, you might want to send treatment results at the end of their treatment. Sending results is optional. The time of sending is irrelevant and can be done at your discretion. Now we want to send a document to your patient. You see, your patient's file is opened. You go to demographics, and there you have a list of all the documents that you prepared for your patient. You double click on the one document that you want to send to her, and a pop-up opens up. And at the left bottom, you have the button Send. You open the drop-down and choose Send to App, and choose the Hope app, of course. And there you have the opportunity to send as an invoice or a document, because this is the exact same way you are sending invoices as well. But in our case, it's a document, so I choose this one. Another pop-up opens up, and I can check if the document that I wanted to send to my patient is the right one. And it is, so I send the message and say, okay, the push notification appears and our flag as well. I can tap on it and it's updated, and when she goes into the clinic tab, she sees that there is a new document. She also sees the document that is sent. She can read it. She can copy it, she can print it and send it to her husband if she wants to, and she can close it and delete it from the phone. And this is the only things that she can do with this document. These were the basic functions of the Hope app. At first, it doesn't look like a big deal, but if you look closer, it saves you from phone calls that happen every time there is a change within the treatment, printing out updated treatment plans, preparing and printing treatment results, and printing and sending correspondences by mail. These are small tasks that need to be done daily and have become established that you hardly notice them. We have found out that these tasks take 1,250 hours to do for 1,000 treatments. That is 156 full working days, and you pay for that. Now let's move on to another very time-consuming tasks in your daily clinic routine. The consent forms and the contracts that must be signed for each treatment. This is where two worlds meet. Yours and your patients. For you, these documents are essential. Without the signatures of your patients, you cannot perform any treatment. For your patients, the contracts are the least important thing because it goes without saying that they agree to everything, otherwise they would not be at your clinic. However, this is the reason why the contracts and consent forms are treated so neglectfully. They are forgotten, signatures, individual pages are missing, etc., etc. Printing out contracts without forgetting anything is a lot of work itself. However, chasing, reclaiming, scanning and storing them is a huge work overload that is unnecessary. I would like to invite Maximilian Bastius. He is a senior account executive at HelloSign, our eSignature provider. I will ask him a few questions and then demonstrate our solution in the app in combination with MedITEX. So I would like to welcome Max from HelloSign, and we are going to have a small interview. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and hopefully he has all the answers for you out there. But if not, you're welcome to ask your questions in the chat, and at the end of the webinar, we are going to answer them all. So. Hello, Max.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, welcome. Could you introduce yourself briefly and tell us what you do exactly?
Yes, happy to do that. Yeah, thanks again for the invite. Happy to be here talking about HelloSign. I work for HelloSign now for more than 4 years. I'm responsible for the German, Austrian and Swiss market here in Europe, and work with clients like you, Alina, to evaluate signature projects. And yeah, happy to be here to talk about eSignatures and the questions you have today.
Great. So, first question, what is HelloSign and how does it work?
Great question. HelloSign is a e-signature provider. So what we do is basically replacing all the manual process you might know from your daily work, administrative work, where you have to print documents, you have to sign it, you have to scan it. All those processes can be replaced with a e-signature solution like HelloSign. And that's basically what we did with you, right? So we were in this evaluation process and implemented our solution into your solution. And with that, it is now possible to go through this e-signature processes within your solution based on an envelope system where we actually get multiple documents together and then be able to send them to your customers.
Yes, great. So, in short, I could, in your envelope system, I could put in like 5 contracts and they need to be signed by multiple people like husband, wife, for example, and the doctor. And I can send them, I pay just this one envelope, they sign it, close it, send it back, and it's just this one process and this one payment for this one envelope, right?
Is exactly the case. You can really think about a normal envelope where you put an envelope you would send via post, where you put different documents in, multiple people can sign it. That's basically what we do.
Great. Okay, can you tell me how secure e-signatures are?
Great question. Yeah, of course. It's also a question which is coming up in every evaluation, of course, especially if you walk from a more administrative manual process into e-signatures. They are indeed more secure than a normal handwritten signature, because with e-signature you have the possibility to trace and track who is going to sign this document, right? Whereas with a normal envelope you send via post, everybody could open this, sign it, and close it again. So yeah, that is not possible with our solution because you have different mechanism behind, for instance, a 2-factor authentication. And with that, we can make sure that only the person who is gonna sign is actually the one who is gonna sign as well, because you would only send this document to this respective person.
Yes, great. So, for example, if I open a real envelope with the contracts and consents and sign for my husband, even though we are not together anymore, this is nothing that a doctor could trace back, but this is not possible with the e-signature, right?
Yes, exactly. With e-signature, it wouldn't be possible because this document will be only sent to the respective people. You have those two different apps where you can make sure the document is going to be sent to one person and to the others, and both have to add their two-factor authentication before they get access to the document and then sign it.
Yes, great. Yes, yeah, this is indeed something that we have. We have the partner app, so the partners are not signing in the app of the patient, they are signing in their own app on their own phone. Yeah, that makes it secure, I guess.
Yes.
So, could you explain what AIDAS compliant means?
Yeah. eIDAS is the European regulation for e-signature and electronic identification. And it's indeed one of the highest regulation worldwide. So to say, if you are following the eIDAS compliancy, then you can work around the world because we have the highest standards here in Europe. And this regulation is actually giving giving the regulation for how e-signature can be used within Europe and with that worldwide. And there are different mechanisms behind. There are three different stages, which we all are compliant with. And this basically rules out the rules to make a e-signature or to not discriminate the e-signature from a handwritten signature. So if you go to court, it would be the same process, and it would be valid as well.
Okay, great. So you mentioned you are offering the two-factor authentication. What is the legal situation regarding this?
Yeah, the two-factor authentication requires, according to eIDAS, that the person has to verify their personality twice. So to say, the first factor would be then within your app or an email address, and the second one would be a code which is sent in a separate way from your system. And both verifications have to be added before the document can be signed. And with that, we make sure that only the person who needs to send this contract will be able to send the contract.
Okay, great. So how and where are the contracts kept after signing?
Yeah, they are stored in within MedITEX or within your system. We have only the processor in here, so once the signature is done, it will be deleted after 48 hours from our platform, and it will be only stored in MedITEX until, or within your system, until it's completely deleted. So yeah, we are only the processor in here to help you processing the signature part.
Great. So that means, so the process in our system is that we are sending the consents and contracts via MedITEX to the Hope app. The patients and the partners are signing. It comes back into MedITEX. It gets deleted on your system after 48 hours, and we store it in MedITEX as long as it's not actively deleted from MedITEX in the clinic, right?
Exactly. That's the complete
Great.
process.
Okay. Yes, great. So can you tell something about the data security? Because this is really a great topic in our segment because we are working with patient data. So can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, 100%. This is a topic which is probably most relevant for all of our clients. So we, in our relation, have like a dedicated meeting actually to speak about this part. Data protection is really one of the most important things, not just for the customers, as I said, but also for ourselves, because this is basically where we need to get the customers convinced to trust their data with us. Now, I said it is in this case also only a short time of 48 hours, but still it's 48 hours. And what we do is we offer a German European data center, for instance. We also have a US data center, but for the German customers, we have this data center in the EU where we store this data 48 hours. We have the data centers certificated or certified with ESO certificates and SOC certificates. So to say like all the data in there is not just stored, it's really secured, and you can be assured that the data is also stored within a encryptancy of 265 bit in rest and in transit. So when the data is in process, also there is a mechanism behind to not be able to access this data from outside the system.
Great. Okay, that sounds perfect. So could you just, so this is the last question, could you please tell us with what clients are you working so far?
Yeah, like HelloSign is actually used not only worldwide, but also in multiple different industries. So we work from the media to private or service companies, but also of course the healthcare industry. So we have multiple customers who work with us for a long time. One really famous and big company service is probably the NHS, the National Health Insurance Services in the UK, who is using us for their processing of data and their signature requests. Other companies using us within the healthcare industry are also GPs and smaller companies who work within the medical industries, like pharma, for instance, who need for instance documents to sign when it comes to research, when it comes to documents which would actually include data patients. We are HIPAA compliant, which is one of the reasons why those companies work with us, because that would be the regulation for documents where personal data is included. So yeah, there are lots of customers who work with us already, which is why I think you also chose us to implement HelloSign within your solution.
Yes, we did. Great,
Very good.
Max. Thank you so much for your time. You are going to be here after the webinar, so all the doctors and biologists and everyone that's here can ask you some questions via our chat on the right side. So you can just put in all your questions in there, and after the webinar we are going to answer them live. Thank you so much, Max. Thank you for your time, and see you in a bit.
Yes, thank you for the invite again. See you in a bit.
Thank you. Now it's time to show you how the consents and contracts work, the eSignature. So you have your patient's file opened, and at the top, consents. You have, for example, 2 consents. You want to put them in one envelope and send them to your patient. So to collect these 2 documents into one envelope, I need to select them both and do a right click and then request eSignature. That's it. Now you have to wait. On the other side, your patient gets a push notification any minute. It takes a little time because this is a very complex procedure in the background. So there are my 2 documents that I need to sign. And even though they are shown as 2 documents, that doesn't matter. It's only one envelope. So I see now at my control center that there are red dots, so this is something that needs to be signed. I can go directly from here into it, or I can go through my document file. So I see my contracts. I can open the contract and I can read it. So this is not a long one, but whatever. So I now can sign my document. Continue. And I accept the privacy. So I need to be aware that when I sign all the documents at once. This is what the first screen said. So now the connection to HelloSign appears. This takes also a few minutes. And now there is my document. I can now get started up here. And there's my signature that's requested by HelloSign. So I need to tap in here, and I have to choose. Do I want to sign with my finger? Do I want to write my name down? Or do I want to upload a photo of my signature? I choose to sign with my finger. Insert. And I can continue. Yes, I agree. Close and success. My documents are signed. And you see the small check in the upper right corner that I signed my documents. And on the other side in MedITEX, we are waiting because I'm going to get small green checks that my patient signed the contracts. And as you see, I got the green checks. I know that my patient signed the contracts, and that's it. These functions in MedITEX and HOPE are available immediately. All you need is the latest update. The eSignature is a service that we charge extra for. You purchase an individual number of envelopes and you can use them at your own discretion and for an unlimited time. If you're interested in this offer, please contact us. We will demonstrate the process in detail, show you how it works with the partner app, and make you a custom offer depending on the number of envelopes you require. Our next topic is medical histories. For this purpose, CRITEX has developed an online survey which is also available on the HOPE app. I would like to formally invite Michael Schindler, who will present this exciting module to us.
Thank you, Alina. Hello everyone, and thank you for attending our webinar. So today we're going to talk about one of our latest modules, MedITEX Survey. MedITEX Survey would ensure less workload on the clinics and would of course save them a lot of time by allowing patients to pre-fill their medical histories before coming to the clinic. So the workflow is actually pretty simple and easy. The patients, they just need to get in touch with the clinic. The clinic would then create their profile on the survey, and there will be a communication throughout this the survey until the medical history is finalized and released, and of course imported into MedITEX IVF, which I'm going to show you next. So this is MedITEX Survey on the clinic side. The survey admin or any staff member that has access to MedITEX Survey can log in from this page. I would start by entering my username and password, and then I would log in. MedITEX Survey is available in several languages, so I will switch to English for now. As you can see, this is the homepage of MedITEX Survey with a list of all the patients that have already been registered, with their emails, last names, first names, creation date, and the statuses of their surveys. As soon as the patient gets in touch with the clinic, the next step for the clinic would be to create this patient in a MedITEX Survey in order for them to receive an email with a registration link so they can finalize their registration. So let's create a patient. I would enter the last name, first name, and email. So let's say Do Anna, and I would use my email for now. As soon as this is done, we simply need to click on Send Survey, and the patient should receive an email shortly. Let's check our emails. The patient already received an email. Of course, the body of the email can be pre-configured in MedITEX Survey, which I can show you later. So as soon as we receive this email, the patient should simply click on this link to finalize their registration. Since they have already provided their email, first name, last name to the clinic, now they can create their profile for the access to MedITEX Survey. They need to add a username. So let's say do2, and of course a password. Once this is done, they also need to check the data protection and agree and register. Now that the registration is done, the patient can access MedITEX Survey. So we enter our username, our password, and log in. Now this is the home page on the patient side. Of course, this is some information that the patient can check. I will click on OK. I can also change language to English. And again, this is the home page on the patient side. Here you can have details about the patient, they can add a partner, or they can have a look at all the surveys that they have. So next step would be for the patient to first create a survey and send it to the clinic. I'll click on Open Surveys, and then I'll go to Add Survey and a female medical history. This is the page for the creation of your survey with several questions and several sections. Of course, it's not mandatory for patients to fill in all the details, but it will mainly depend on the information that is needed by the clinic and of course the workflow of the clinic. So let's say for now, we will answer the first 3 questions. So are you married or in a long-term relationship? So married since 2020, and we have been trying to get a kid to have children since 2021. Of course, there's also a conversation section, so the patient can ask the clinic questions and then they can get some replies. So for example, here, I would say, is question number 4 mandatory? And I would click on the send button. Once this is done, I can whether save my survey in order to check it afterwards, or I can simply send it to the clinic. Now the survey is sent. If I go back to the clinic side and I refresh, I would see the new patient and her survey, so the status of her survey. So this is our patient, Anna, and this is her survey. To open the survey, I need to click here and then open survey. This is the question from the patient. It's question number 4 mandatory. So we can reply, no, you can skip it. And I will send this message. We can have a look at all the answers from the patient. We can save, or we can send it back for the clinic if any modifications are necessary, or we can simply release it. So I would save it for now, and then I would release it. Yes, we would like to save the current status. And of course, in order to release it, you would need to enter the patient ID of this patient in MedITEX. So let's say for now, the patient ID is DO2, and I would click OK. So as you can see, the status of my survey has changed. The next step would be to go to MedITEX. And since this patient doesn't exist in MedITEX, we would need to create it. So I'll click on New Patient. The ID, we said it was DO2, female. I would select a random date of birth and I would enter her surname and name. And then OK. Now that this patient is created, we need to confirm that the survey or the medical history has been released. So we go to the import button and we click on import survey. Once this is done, now we go to the medical history section and our medical history should be here. Now, as you can see, this is the medical history. Once it's released, we can open it and then we can check some of the details that the patient has entered. So the date we have it here, we go to general, the marital status, the date of marriage, and so on. Another thing I can show you about MedITEX Survey is the pre-configuration that can be done by users. So if we go to settings on the left panel, it is possible to change the layouts, the security settings on both clinic and patient. The same applies for the surveys. You can edit the body of the email, you can enable or disable the communication feature, and of course you can set up some questions to be visible or not in your survey, and of course the answers to be also imported or not. This was a quick summary of MedITEX Survey. I hope it was clear and simple. And of course, do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions or if you need any further details. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you for this exciting insight. This module is now available for you at CRITEX. If you decide to use this MedITEX module, it will be automatically activated on the HOPE app without any additional costs on our part. Last but not least, I would like to present our pricing model. This topic too was very challenging last year. We had changed our pricing structure almost 100 times to make it worthwhile for the clinics and for us. However, since the ASHRAE, our new pricing system has been fixed and is very well accepted by clinics worldwide. First of all, I would like to say that we will give you a 30-day trial period, which is completely free of charge. During this period, you can try out all the functions of the HOPE app without any risk and try to incorporate them into your daily clinical routine. This is only fair for both sides, because you should not buy something without trying it out first. We have developed 3 package prices. The price per package can be paid monthly as a one-time payment. The unused codes expire 12 months after the purchase date of the respective package. Individual QR codes for new patients can be purchased at any time for €25 each. You choose your preferred package of QR codes depending on your new patients per year. We only count new patients. Each patient stays connected to your clinic forever without no additional payment. So she can do as many cycles as needed without additional fee. Each package is valid for 12 months starting from the day you purchase it, and the time you can use the QR codes is extended for another 12 months when you purchase a follow-up package. Patients who are already connected to your clinic will remain connected even if your package has expired and you do not repurchase a new one. There is no fixed monthly price, no minimum purchase. If you don't order QR codes, packages or eSignature envelopes, you won't pay anything either. Get in touch with us if you would like to receive an individual offer. We will be happy to address your clinic's needs. Hi! So we had a few questions already, and we are going to answer them now step by step. So languages. Yes, the HOPE app is available in German, in English, and Spanish is coming any day now. Italian and French. And next year, in the first quarter, we are going to implement Arabic as well. Arabic is going to be a challenge because you read from right to left and not from left to right. So we need to switch all the modules to the other side. So this is why it takes a little more time than that. So yes, this is going to be the languages. Then the HOPE app is available in the App Store and Google Play Store under HOPE Cycle Tracker. You can go to our website and there you will have the links to it. It's available worldwide and it's available on all systems, so on iOS and Android. And the next question was the patient data. So HOPE is not storing any patient data. The patient data stays only on the phone of your patients and in your MedITEX. So the only thing that we are doing is we are transferring it. We are transferring the data from MedITEX to patients. So we have an asymmetric end-to-end encryption, and it's going to be and it's very secure. So you heard from Max before that they are using the 260-bit on rest and transit. We are using 2048-bit. So and the only reason we are not using more is because MedITEX can't handle it. Sorry, Slim. But yeah, so it's pretty secure. We are also HIPAA compliant, of course. And there was another question, HL7. No, we are not using the HL7 protocol because we are not storing any patient data. So it's not required in our case. And yes, let me see. One more question. No, there were no questions regarding the Hope app so far. But I also want to tell you a few things. So the partner app. The partner app is the same app that as the patients use, but the QR code that you are providing to the partners makes the Hope app into a partner app. So it turns into a partner app. And this one is for free. So if a patient is connected and you want to connect her partner, the partner QR code is for free on top. Next thing is the eSignature pricing. So eSignature pricing is very simple because we are charging for envelopes. So envelopes can be filled with multiple contracts and consents, and can be signed by multiple people. And one envelope is going to cost, the highest cost will be €3. So if you, for example, want to purchase just five envelopes, you pay €3 per envelope. But if you want to have like 1,000 envelopes from us, then we will make different pricing for you, of course. So just don't hesitate to contact us and to tell us how much envelopes you will need, and we will provide an individual offer for you. And last but not least, from my side, Open API. We do have an Open API. So if you are not using MedITEX, you're using another system, feel free to contact us as well, because we can connect to any system. That's it from me. Let me see if other Polish language will be also available like in MedITEX. Let me, yeah, Polish, we can do that. That's not a problem at all for us. If you would like to help us translate, just call us. That's translating the app is really easy for us. We are using a system called Phrase, and we can translate within 2 days. So if there is a language that you would like to have in the Hope app, just contact us. Do we have to download 2 apps for each partner? No, you don't. It's one app, and the outcome within the app, or how the app looks, is provided by the QR code from MedITEX. So as soon as the Hope app scans a patient app, it knows it's a patient, and as soon it scans a partner app, it knows it's a partner. Let me see. Ukrainian, same as Polish. So just contact us. It's not a problem for us. Yeah, that's it. So Max, your turn.
Yeah, I think I saw one question here. Is HelloSign now called Dropbox Sign? And yes, the answer is yes, since yesterday. So very up to date, Philippe. Yeah, HelloSign just got a rebranding, Dropbox Sign, but nothing else has changed.
Okay. Do you have some other questions? If not, we are going to proceed. If you want, Arabic language is coming. Yes, next year. Next year, in the beginning, we are going to translate into Arabic as well. Integration of Hope application and Hope Partner application available for smartphone. Yes. It's available on every smartphone, on every system. So yes, you just have to search it or go to our website. There are direct links to the download of the app. And does it work on tablet? Not yet, but we are working on that. Yeah, you're welcome. So yes, if you guys don't have any questions anymore, or probably there are questions but you can't remember them now, you can contact us. We are very fast with answering. So thank you for coming, and yeah, that's it. Thank you for your interest in the Hope app. I hope we could answer all your questions and look forward to your feedback. Send us an email if you would like to try our product. We will be happy to show you everything in detail and activate the 30-day trial for you. Visit our website at hopeapp-clinic.com for more information. Until then, I wish you all the best and see you soon.